This isn't a soup, it's not a rice bowl, not a noodle bowl. This is an eating experience of a lifetime. So today we're making hot pot, heavily misunderstood, and oftentimes I feel like people just don't take the time to go and try it. Why? The beauty of hot pot is you got your broth. Oftentimes there's two, there's a spicy and a regular, and you have all sorts of accoutrement. You can mix and match however you want. And I've said this before, I'm single-handedly one of the most indecisive diners you can possibly imagine. I will order far more than I need and spend far more than I have to just so I can try everything. It's its own problem, but this dish single-handedly solves that for me, and it'll solve it for you too. So let's make this, shall we? Okay, I don't want you getting your pants all in a bunch and think this is gonna be super complicated. There's a lot of ingredients, but we can simplify it here. Basically, this consists of two broths, a very clean and light tasting broth on one side, and a nice umami rich and beautifully spicy version on the other. Then you have a multitude of accoutrements and dipping sauces to create an eating experience unique to you and your heart. Speaking of that, let's begin with the heart of this recipe, the stock. We're keeping this basic, okay? No salt yet. This is just the base of the recipe. To a stock pot, add 5 large chicken drumsticks and 5 large bone-in and skin-on chicken thighs, 1 bunch of green onion, 1-inch knob of ginger sliced, 1 whole head of garlic cut in half, then add just enough water to cover, and that should be at least 5 quarts. Bring them to a light boil over medium-high heat and reduce to a simmer. Then just let that lightly simmer for 1.5 to 2 hours or until you get a lovely light-colored stock that has a beautifully clean but flavorful taste. Strain that bad boy and you have a stock for the base of each soup. Now, typically when you make each broth, you'll also see a store-bought soup base, more specifically for the spicy version. But what about your own homemade instant soup base that just sink and boil anytime you want? To a blender, add 2 tablespoons or 7 grams of red Sichuan peppercorns, 2 tablespoons or 7 grams of green Sichuan peppercorns, 3-star anise, also pronounced anise, 2 cinnamon sticks lightly charred with a torch or a broiler, cooled and lightly crushed. Blend until as fine as possible. A high-speed blender like this helps a lot. Now, in a medium sauce pot, add 1.5 cups or 308 grams of beef fat, aka tallow, half a cup or 120 milliliters of vegetable oil. Heat that over medium heat just until the beef fat is melted. Then add in 1 pint or 55 grams of dried chili pods seeded. These are heaven-facing chilies, but you could also use chili de arbol or dried Korean chilies. Let those gently fry for 1 to 2 minutes or until beautifully crisp and lightly darkened. Strain the oil into a heat-proof container, then place the strained oil back into the pot. Let the chilies cool for about 30 seconds, then put them in your blender and blend that brother on high until very fine. Now, to your warm oil, add a mixture of 8 cloves of finely chopped garlic, 5 green onion sliced thin, a 3-inch knob of ginger peeled and finely chopped. Then turn that on to medium heat and sweat for 1 minute or just until fragrant. Then add half a cup or 105 grams of doubanjian, also called spicy bean paste. Yes, I know, pronunciation blows, but guess what? The flavor does not. 3 tablespoons or 65 grams of fermented black bean paste, 5 bay leaves, 2 tablespoons or 25 grams of dried shiitake mushroom powder, which is exactly what you think, dried shiitake mushrooms, blended, powder, super easy. Your spice mix from earlier, and once that starts to bubble, add your blended fried chilies and let that cook, stirring occasionally for 7 to 10 minutes or until it becomes a very dark red. Now, carefully remove all your bay leaves and finally add 1 tablespoon or 15 grams of granulated sugar, 2.5 teaspoons or 11 grams of stir that in, and last, add 3 tablespoons or 35 grams of Shaoxing rice wine. Cook for 1 more minute, then add everything to a blender and blend until as smooth as possible at high speed. I'll tell you right now, you ain't gonna do much blending if it ain't on high. Pour that mixture into an 8x8 baking pan, spread it out evenly, and optionally top with a couple whole dried red chili pods. This is more for visuals. Then cover that, place it in the fridge, and cool until completely solid. Then just divide that into 4 to 6 pieces, depending on how spicy you want your soup base, and that is literally an instantized soup base that really can be used in any context your heart desires. Mix it in rice, put it in another soup, melt it in mashed potatoes. I mean, it's ridiculous, I'll tell you what. Believe it or not, we're actually ready to assemble. Look, this isn't but cheaper. So if you want to have this thing that makes a hot pot special, aka 2-sided hot pot, place in the middle of the family dinner table. Now, fill both sides of your hot pot with your stock, turn that bad boy onto medium-high, and first let's start with our non-spicy side. Add 4 dried shiitake mushrooms, a pinch of ground white pepper, 3 to 4 Chinese jujube, a 2-inch knob of ginger peeled and sliced, 4 green onion sliced in 2-inch segments, and then on the other side, guess what? Literally just 1 block of your spicy soup base. Drop it in, let it dissolve, and the obelisk of flavor will do the rest. Then just season both sides to taste with salt. From here, it's real basic. You need accoutrement that rings your binky. I've got 2 pounds of mini bok choy, cleaned and quartered, some trumpet mushrooms sliced, 1 container of beach mushrooms with their bottoms cut off, Napa cabbage halved and cut into large strips, and for the starch we got Chinese style noodles, but hang on, maybe you toss in some dumplings, or mix and match and have some rice cakes. You know, whatever floats your soup boat. For the meat, you can use anything you want, but I recommend getting a tray of pre-sliced shabu shabu beef, and maybe some thinly sliced Wagyu beef as well. Typically, I'll do 2 to 3 pounds for 4 people. And you can find all this stuff at a local Asian grocery store. That being said, last but not least, very, very important, the dipping sauces. Of course, spicy chili oil, duh. But also sesame garlic oil, which is comprised of 3 tablespoons or 28 grams of sesame oil, 3 cloves of garlic grated, and a generous pinch of smoky, flaky salt. Mix, and well, that's it. For vinegar soy, it's literally just 3 tablespoons or 40 grams of soy sauce, mixed with 3 tablespoons or 40 grams of Chinese black vinegar. Can't forget rice, you know, it has a home in pretty much all meals. And look at that, you got your veg, your starch, your dipping sauces, meats, hot, steamy, simmering, umami-rich broth, ready to call the cowboys home, tears of joy in your eyes, and happiness welling up in your heart. Let's give this a little breakdown on how to eat this and see what this is truly all about. Wow, this is one of my most favorite eating experiences. It's beautiful. My biggest thing is I always want to taste a bunch of things when I go out to eat. Oftentimes I order far more than I need to, and I don't care because I want to try it all. Hot Pot supplies all of those experiences in one. There's to be at least 100 combinations here. Put a little meat in here, put it in there, put meat in here and then in there, put meat in here and then in there, but then put a little noodle in there and then in there with the meat in here. It's tailored to exactly what you want. You should make sure every bite is different. One for the meat. Biggest tip, when you dip your meat, it needs to be quick. I'm talking 15 to 20 seconds. That'll keep it juicy and moist. Please don't leave it in there and let it get obliterated, all right? I got a little bit of rice. The rice wasn't cooked in here, but all the different ingredients are permeating the rice. They're dropping their fats and their juices and their oils and their salts, sort of perfuming this rice with the essence of all these hot pot flavors. Pretty sure rice flew out of my mouth. Can we get a replay if you caught that? I don't know if my dumpling's cooked all the way through, but I hope it is. So good. The benefit of cooking something like a dumpling or noodles in here, it absorbs all this flavor. Isn't that what we all want? It is. Hot pot time. You wanna know what else has meat dipped in a hot, steamy bath? B-roll. Guys, and that is it. So we made our hot pot. It's one of those things that every time you make it, you're like, wow, this is so much better than I imagined it to be. And it's not like you didn't expect it to be great. It is that much better. There are plenty of recipes you can make where you eat something and it's like, yeah, this is good. It's like not blowing me away, but it's like good. I'm enjoying it and I would make this again. But this far surpasses that only because of its customizability. It's different every time you eat it. There's never one hot pot meal that's exactly the same. The juicy, dripping meat, it's spicy, it's salty, a little bit of sweet. It's an endless car ride journey through Flavor Town, and you're the driver. So with all that being said, if you enjoyed this video or you learned something, leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.